will start going into battle. And they come out of the pre-grid. Green flag is waved. A full capacity grid of 36 drivers after the intermediate classification gave us 30 drivers through, and the second chance heat gave us the other drivers. Your grid for Senior Rotax Final 1 is as follows. Matilda Olsson takes pole position after netting just 3 points after 2 wins and a third yesterday. Luca Lystra takes second, ahead of Dylan LaHaye and Sean Butcher. Lachlan Robinson from the UAE will have alongside Scotland's very own Lewis Gilbert on row 3. Kai Hunter and Vincent France ran out the top 4 rows, and completing the top 10 will be Jules Castro and Guilherme de Oliveira. Ollie Pilker and James Johnson, row 6. Stormbrewer and Zombar Kovac, row 7. Reese Hunter, Elia Galvanin, Teresa Babikova, Luna Blum, Mads Ries and Poland's Karol Kret. They ran out the top 20. Completing the 36 strong, it is as follows. Bradley Barrett, Lucas Hartmann, Teddy Clinton, Felix Jansson, Philip Vava, Max Stemmerdink, Robin Knudson, Mario Sidler, Andreas Heber and Anthony Boulou ran out the top 30. Lars Zanen, Emily de Hoys, Fabian Bock, Arthur Horsch, Jordi van der Eyck and Kilian Darnier ran out the 36 strong as they go onto the formation lap. I've just been informed that the lunch break will be shortened and we will go back to the normal timetable. So we will start the Micromax second final at 1:30 local time as planned, as per the original schedule. So we are running about 20 minutes behind schedule at the moment. The drivers now making their way down the back straightaway into turn 7 on the formation lap. Drivers, I think you can just see as they're trying to sort of get a little bit of an idea of the conditions. They'll have had that opportunity through the sighting lap, but then the formation lap, things can be taken at a little bit more of a slightly slower pace. So top 10 is Olsson, Lystra, LaHaye, Butcher, Robinson, Gilbert, Kai Hunter, Vincent France, Jules Castro and Guilherme de Oliveira. So in there you have 3 Belgians, you have 3 Britons, 1 from the UAE, you have a driver from the UAE, a Portuguese driver and a Swede on pole position. Watch out for the likes of Ollie Pilker, James Johnson, Zombar Kovac, Elia Galvanin and Teresa Babikova, who have factored in the sharper end of the grid throughout the qualifying heat stay yesterday. But they now come through turn 12. It's game on here in Senior Rotax. This is a well-controlled start from Matilda Olsson, but a little bit of a bog down from Luca Lystra. The lights go out for 14 minutes as Dylan LaHaye gets up into second. Lystra trying to pin it around the outside. It is 3 abreast, and there are people trying to get positions through. It's 4 abreast coming through turn 2. This could get very messy very quickly if they're not careful. But every single driver has made it through turn 4 already, and they are swarming all over each other like a pack of wolves. This is cutthroat, but Dylan LaHaye now gets the lead. Drivers making their way through turn 6. I cannot for the life of me believe what's just happened, that 36 Senior Rotax drivers have now made their way. It is 2 abreast. If it goes 3 abreast, it could end up very, very difficult. And we've had someone go round and now end up at the back part of the field, through into the approach onto turn 8. But the drivers are still all circulating. Leader now comes through turn 11. And the driver leading the way very, very shortly is Dylan LaHaye. And that is the 395 of Kai Hunter. Matilda Olsson now being hustled, of all people, Ollie Pilker from Poland, from SP Motorsport. He's now up into P4. Just behind is Sean Butcher from Great Britain with KR Sport, who slingshots his way with consummate ease past the Polish driver up into turn 2. But Pilker takes a tighter line, has to put on the anchors. Olsson runs a little bit wide, but gets the traction coming out of turn 3. Rain now starting to fall again. as we've had another driver turn around, and that is the 318 of Fabian Bock from Germany. As now Butcher trying to go very well. Butcher's trying his best to get past Matilda Olsson and has got past the Swede. And I'm just looking behind. That is Mads Rees. Mads Rees, I think, has got up into 4th place. The rain's starting to intensify. Brollies are going up. Hoodies will be going on, and I'm sure that wet weather galoshes might come at some point if the rain keeps on coming down as it is. So now LaHaye, who's now in as they excuse me, I nearly had a frog in my throat there, as Lewis Gilbert is battling away, and that is looking to be Stormbrower in the 388. That is for position, as now the 371 of Zombar Kovac is right on the back bumper of Olli Pilka, gives the Polish driver a little bit of a tap from behind. Oh, and they nearly go completely wide and off the track, off of turn 2, as it's 3 abreast, and through on the inside, that is Lewis Gilbert, as they're swarming all over each other. Olli Pilka trying to go around the outside of the Scot through turn 4, can't get through. The Dorroy Diamond puts the brakes on quite firmly, but then Pilka towards the outside, he misses out on a position, trying to get the cutback. He's got the run in the SP Motorsport kart, and he slingshots past Lewis Gilbert, who instantly counter-attacks going through into turn 7. The wet weather conditions really trying to throw a spanner in the works, and by golly has it done so. The lead now between Dylan LaHaye and Kai Hunter was over nearly 4.3 seconds. Oh, there's been a turnaround. Oh no, that's Reese Hunter, and he gets a front end impact as a result. So drama's befalling everybody. And it looks like Teresa Babikova definitely trying to get stuck in here, down in what was 22nd position, but the order is changing faster than I can shake a stick at it. As Lars Zane and Mario Sidler look to have gone, I think they're going to be retiring. Carol Kretz already out from Strawberry Racing in the 304. Jules Castro all the way down at the back end of the field. So at the moment, LaHaye is now going down the back straightaway, as Sean Butcher now is up into 2nd. Olli Pilka now gets past Zombar Kovac from Hungary, through into turn 4. Kovac tried to shut the door through turn 5, but the Polish driver was having absolutely none of it. And the battle for 3rd place well and truly on, as Mads Rees is swarming all of the back bumper of Kai Hunter in the 395 from Great Britain. And the Dane makes the move up the inside through into turn 8. And there was a little bit of a touch from behind. Matilda Olsson running out the top 5 at the moment. Lewis Gilbert from Potenza Racing Engines is getting closer to the back bumper of the reigning and defending senior Rotax champion in this championship. 9 minutes and 8 seconds still to go on the clock, plus an additional lap. Dylan LaHaye has been given an opportunity. Started P3, he's now in the lead of the race. As now Mads Rees is up into 3rd. Sean Butcher, the Rotax Max Challenge Winter Cup vice champion, behind Juho Valtonen, who's not racing with us this weekend, is now in 2nd place. As now Lewis Gilbert has got past Matilda Olsson for position, but Olsson goes back up the inside to retake the place. Gilbert towards the outside going through turn 6. Olsson keeps it nice and tight with the apex and powers out of the corner well. Other positional changes. Andreas Heber up to 13th past Portugal's Guilherme de Oliveira, who started in 10th. Reese Hunter now back on the comeback trail. 17th place ahead of Artur Horsch, who started 34th and was one of our second chance qualifiers earlier on this morning. Lachlan Robinson down in 16th position, behind Spain's Philip Vava, who rounds out the top 15. So the top 15 drivers will score points. 25 for a win, 20 for 2nd, 16 for 3rd, 13 for 4th, 11 for 5th, and then from 6th to 15th, it's 10 down to 1. So if a driver takes the 2nd place finish and wins the final on countback, they get the overall weekend win. As when Kai Hunter was putting the brakes on going into turn 2, the back end of the Dan Holland Racing 395 entry started to go a little bit sideways to both sides of the corner, to both sides. So now, more drivers changing places. Lachlan Robinson now behind Rhys Hunter, who's trying to close on Guilherme de Oliveira. And you can just see how many different racing lines these drivers are taking to keep the grip at its absolute optimum. We are now halfway, 7 minutes down, 7 to go plus a lap. Oh, now I've just seen a strike of lightning just outside of the circuit, heading across the start-finish line. I thought I saw a flash there. And thunder now to the right-hand side of the commentary box. The storms are coming in. You know the microclimate at Spa-Francorchamps, 95 kilometers south-southwest of our current location. When the rain hits, it hits hard. And the same can be true at times in karting Genk. Mechanical black flag now being shown to the 351, and that is of Sweden's Robin Knutsson, of all people. Started 27th, gained 18 places, and with just under 6 minutes and 20 seconds to go, the Swede now has to park it. But Dylan LaHaye now has a lead of 6.62 seconds over Sean Butcher. LaHaye, in the meantime, has also set the fastest lap of the race on lap number 6. We are on lap number 7 at the minute. As now, Kai Hunter trying to mount an assault up the inside through on Manteris through turn 9 for third place. And Manteris does the old, look, come on, just work with me sort of signal to the driver behind. But I know how competitive Kai and Rhys Hunter can be. As more drivers trying to jockey for position. Oh, a little bit of a bump from behind. And that was from, I think that might have been Andreas Herbert, maybe on the back bump of possibly of Max Stemmerdink there. Not too sure, couldn't really make out with the amount of spray that's being flung up by the rear ends of the carts. And the race director pointing to one of the drivers to tell them to pay attention. That could be to Robin Knutsson, because Knutsson has 3 laps from the moment as there's a little bit of a tussle. Oh, someone nearly goes sideways going through the exit of turn number 2 into 3, and someone has a full-on drift coming out of turn 3, and that is the 305. That's Guilherme de Oliveira. Went sideways, putting the power down out of turn 3 and managed to save it. But then Andreas Herbert clatters into the right rear of the KR Sport driver from Portugal. Olli Pilka is now down. I think he's out of the top 15 as the Polish driver. He started down in 11th position. He got his way up to 4th place in the early phase of this race. 4 minutes and 20 plus an additional lap. The unpredictability factor has gone to infinity and beyond in this race. But there is one constant thing that is happening. There is one consistent point of reference that Dylan LaHaye is still leading. LaHaye started in 3rd place. He's now got the lead. He's got a lead of 6.87 seconds ahead of Sean Butcher. Manteris now rounds out the top 3. Storm Brewer, in the meantime, has been trying to get past and has got past Kai Hunter, I think. As the drivers now, some of them making their way through, some taking wider lines. As again, the back end of the cart for Guilherme de Oliveira, as he puts the power down and tries to steer in. You get either snap in understeer or snap out oversteer. As now, the drivers still making their way through. Andreas Herbert seems to be battling away with Artur Hosch, and also Rhys Hunter, who's now up into 13th position. The temperature has dropped. We had a high of 28 a little bit earlier on, but we are now to 19 degrees Celsius. But also, the biggest factor is that the drivers will be saturated, not through dehydration, but unwanted hydration in terms of the wet weather that we've had. 7.3 seconds separates 1st and 2nd position. As more drivers, it looks like Olli Pilka battling away still yet again. And he's battling with a 3.26. And that is Lachlan Robinson. That is for 16th position on the grid. So top 10 at the moment, with 2.5 minutes to go. There's Guilherme de Oliveira looking to try and get past Andreas Herbert. will try and go through. Well, he takes the tighter line through turn 3, does the Portuguese driver. So top 10, Dylan LaHaye leading. 7.3 seconds ahead of Sean Butcher. Mads Rees rounds out the top 3. Storm Brouwer, Lewis Gilbert, Matilda Olsson, Zsombor Kovac, Luca Leicester, Kai Hunter and Max Stemmerding. The rain is coming down once again. As you can see, I think Bradley Barrett just trying to go up the inside of Philip Valver there. Through into turn number 7 off of the back straight. LaHaye is already through turn 2 as Sean Butcher now makes his way through turn 1. And we've had a 5-second time penalty for pushing. It will be added post-race. And it is the 3:02. That is Ollie Pilker. And Pilker at the moment is 17th. And just having a look at the timing screens. So I'm just going to see the time differential. He's 35.3 seconds off of the lead. This will put him down in 25th position if things were to finish as they are, as there are more contretemps on the circuit. Emily de Hoy's being shoved a little bit wide there by Arthur Horsch going through into turn number 4 on the approach into turn 5. So Emily de Hoy's started 32nd, now 14th. 18 positions gained over the course of the last 10 and a quarter minutes. LaHaye now goes on to the penultimate race lap of this encounter, which will put the Belgian in pole position. We've had now several retirements. Vincent France, Jules Castro, Lars Zanen, Mario Sidler and Karel Kret. Anthony Boulou looks to be possibly the 6th confirmed retirement momentarily, which means that we have 30 drivers being rounded out by Germany's Lukas Hartmann. And the gaps are looking a bit more spread out than possibly what the drivers would want, as Lewis Gilbert takes the wide line through turn 3, as does Matilda Olsson. And that is that nearly allows Zsombor Kovac to get through, as they are all struggling for grip. And I've just seen Arthur Horsch, who's now got his way past Reese Hunter through the exit of turn 3 and into turn 4. De Oliveira just behind. And that looks to be Emily de Hoy's, I believe. Or has de Hoy's actually gone in front? No, that is the 339. So Dylan LaHaye now just has 1,360 metres to go. As this battle, including Horsch, De Oliveira, De Hoy's, and looks to be Lachlan Robinson now getting stuck in as De Hoy's. Now really trying to get through. And that's De Oliveira up ahead. Lachlan Robinson just behind, a few kart lengths adrift. As LaHaye now comes through turn 6 for the final time in final number 1 for Senior Rotax. The weather has really, really changed the whole dynamic. Great sunshine through the summer months, and then we get thunder, lightning, continued rainfall. It has petered off ever so slightly, but LaHaye now makes his way down through into turn 10 for the final time, as Mads Rees still keeping what is 4th position at the minute. I think trying to battle away with Storm Brouwer. But on home soil, a Belgian takes the Senior Rotax final number 1 victory. Through the final corner comes Dylan LaHaye in the 3:28 to take the win. Sean Butcher comes round the final corner for Great Britain, and for KR Sport he takes 2nd at the checkered flag. 3rd place looks like Storm Brouwer is going to get the upper hand on Mads Rees, which gives us 4 different nationalities in the top 4 thanks to Mads Rees from Denmark. And then Lewis Gilbert makes it to drivers with Great British licenses, but of course he is from Scotland, so there is a little bit of a 50-50 there. Matilda Olsson, our pole setter, takes 6th place ahead of Zsombor Kovac from Hungary. Luca Leicester, Kai Hunter recovers to finish in 9th place ahead of Andreas Herbert from France. So after that, Max Stemmerdink is 11th, Arthur Horsch 12th, Guilherme de Oliveira, Emily de Hoys and Reese Hunter round out the top 15. Ollie Pilker, currently sitting behind Lachlan Robinson, will drop. And I've just spotted that he will drop to 23rd position at the end of the race. So Robinson, so it has been amended. Bradley Barrett takes 17th ahead of Elia Galvanin, Felix Jansson, Philip Vava, Teddy Clinton, Fabian Bock. Pilker takes 23rd, Luna Blum 24th, Babikova 25th, ahead of Taunier, Johnson, Van der Eyck, Knudson and Hartmann. We didn't have Karol Kret, it looks like, on the starting grid, so the Polish driver didn't have an opportunity to get involved. Bilou, France, Castro, Zenon and Sidler are the 5 other retirements. But going into final 2, Dylan LaHaye has advantage on home soil.